Remember that wonderful women's march that really wasn't because they told all the pro-life women to stay home after Trump's first inauguration?
Yeah, I'm a nasty woman.
Well, in New York over the weekend, there was a bunch of butthurt screaming and yelling, "I hates Trumps."
No! No! No!
And if it's any indicator of Trump 2.0 and the lead up to his second inauguration, things could get ugly.
What the fuck?
I'm Jazz Berganzo on this. Did you think they were just going to go off quietly into the night? Nah. But that's what's next. Hey, happy Monday, ladies and gentlemen. Jazz Berganzo, what's next? Your daily dose. Hope you guys are feeling good today, of course. It's a new week, new bullshit, new insanity, new knuckleheadedness, you name it. After an epic week, epic proportions, Donald Trump getting reelected for some people say, the third time. After all the ranting and the raving and screaming and the yelling and the posting of nonsensical TikTok insanity, did you think that they were just going to go off quietly into the night? That they were just going to go away and just sit there and stew and mourn and and plot? Well, plotting, yes. Let's take a trip in the way back to 2017, shall we? Remember the wonderful Women's March? Yes, everyone walking around with their pink hats on, we're for women, we're for women's rights. Really? When you told all the pro-life women and all women of faith to stay at home because you're not wanted? Well, and of course we had lovely celebrity speakers, like Madonna, who says, I've always thought of blowing up the White House. Yeah, that happened. And she's not in prison. Anyway, over the weekend in New York, you had a rally. You had a huge rally, some people say decent size, and they were protesting, yelling and screaming about things, pretty much the theme, I hates me some Trumps. That's pretty much what it was. Now, if it's any indicator of what's to come in Trump 2.0 and the lead up to his second inauguration, third, some people say, things possibly could get ugly. And here we go. This comes out of Breitbart. Thousands of protesters march in New York over President-elect Donald Trump's win. Trump has got to go. Well, he'll go all right after this term, and then he'll go off into quietly into night. We won't back down. Thousands of protesters marched through New York City Saturday protesting President-elect Donald Trump's victory in the presidential election. The video posted on X by Turning Point USA reporter Savannah Hernandez. Protesters could be seen holding a black banner with yellow words that saying, "We won't back down." Hey, hey, ho, ho, Donald Trump has got to go. Wow, that took you all weekend? It probably took you since election day to put that thing together. But let's watch a little, shall we? Got a catchy little ring to it, doesn't it? Okay. Happening now. Major protests that take place in New York City going against Donald Trump. They refuse to acknowledge that the American people woke up on election day and said, no, we want Donald back.
Less than 1 week after Donald Trump is now considered the president-elect, we have a massive protest in New York City. They are doing chants like, hey, hey, ho, ho, Donald Trump has got to go. And they're even saying, not my president.
No, of course not.
On January 20th, I'll tell you this, he will be. And these people will continue raging. Make sure you guys subscribe and follow.
Yes, and you can tell those protesting to go suck it. Anyway, in another video posted by Hernandez, migrant protesters could be seen holding signs, Protect Keeping Families Together program. We Hispanics are the engine and the workforce of the economy of this beautiful and blessed country. Okay. In another video posted X, protesters could be seen holding signs that read, "The world doesn't belong to the 1% and protect our freedoms, families, and future." Okay. Trump, who served as the 45th president, will serve as the 47th, won the presidential election of Vice President Kamala by squashing her into oblivion with 302 electoral votes. Trump's campaign spokeswoman Caroline Levitt said in a statement that when Trump starts his term as president, he will start operations to deport millions of undocumented immigrants, i.e. illegals. He'll launch the largest mass deportation operation in undocumented immigrants on day one in the nation's history. Breitbart News also reported that the polls from Pew Research, Fox News, and Ipsos also found a large majority of Americans support the deportation of illegals from the United States. I see no issues. We've allowed between 11 and 15 million illegals to flood this country in the 4 years under President Dementia. Yes, remember Joe? Yeah, he's still around. But for them to still think to this very day, this very second, that the border's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. What are you, are you retarded? There's nothing going on here. There's nothing to see here. Frank Drebin, go back to your homes. We have seen easily 60 million illegals come into this country since Ronald Reagan signed the amnesty bill in November of '86. Over 60 million, maybe more at this point. There are millions who've done it the right way, who stood in line. They've done their homework. They took the oath, and now they're Americans. God bless them. But there are millions of others who have flooded into this country, through the borders, being sent over in planes, by boat, who have just gone into the shadows and sucked the teat off of states who are willing to do so. California, anyone? New York, anyone? This is a situation that we're in. Now, reports are out there that for it to do this mass deportation would roughly cost the country around $100 billion. $100 billion to deport anywhere from 11 to 15 million illegals and kick them out of the country. There are people like, you know what? That's a little too much money to spend. We just don't have that money. That's coming from the left. The same left who had no problem coughing up $200 billion of your taxpayer, my taxpayer money to fucking Ukraine. Had no problem with that. Had no problem giving up almost $2 billion for illegals during, in the last year to 2 years. But what happened to the people who got hit with those hurricanes, Helene and Milton? What happened to them? Oh, yes, they got a wonderful $750. That's the leftist mentality. Fuck the citizenry. We care about the illegals more. Well, guess what? Now that Trump is the new sheriff back in town again for a possible third time, things are going to change. Hopefully, God willing, things are going to change. And they lock up the border. They seal up the border. They put a wall up on the border, which should have been done a long time ago, and finally squash this shit. Because this shit has gotten totally out of fucking control. And with that being said, I'm Jazz Berganzo. This is What's Next. Want to see more like this? Please leave a comment below. Like it, share, subscribe to it. Hit that notification bell so you guys never miss a thing. Continue spreading the word about the show. Appreciate you guys watching as always. And we'll see you on the next one. Peace.